where just the team that won the game, not even they knew how or why they did. They just happened to be the final Nexus standing. So that's kind of what it seems like is going on here. And that's just what I love about the LPL so much, is that I think it's just because everyone has so much talent, and low-key with that comes a little bit of this ego, this aggression, this desire to continue clicking forward, that even if teams have leads, they can throw them at the drop of a hat.
So with Azir and Mbessa banned by Top Esports, this means that either Pantheon or Karma get through on B1. You can see that they are currently deciding which avenue they want to go for. It's the Karma this time, prioritizing Fengyue's, and I think more just bewildering to me is the fact that we're letting Pantheon get through. This has been such a priority jungle here in this season so far, and now we're even having that taken away by having the Ezreal separated from the Karma duo.
Yeah, it looks like this draft line has been already a bit explored here, that the fact they're able to immediately snap lock the Ezreal Panth, and I wouldn't be surprised at all as Top Esports, some kind of game theory, you look into this, you anticipate this to be a response. So I think this is about as far as they got in like the guaranteed planning. They're going to first pick Karma, give Ezreal Panth, take the Caitlyn pairing. Now you get to cook the rest of the drafts here. Let's see what direction they want to go.
I really hate Wukong. Nothing against the guy personally. Sounds like he's a great guy to have a party with. You get two guys in one, but yeah. I don't know. Not really have it with how much early jungling has kind of revolved around just being out on the map. I think that being so reliant to not really having too much skirmishing power hurts this champion a lot. Ezreal Bard seems like it's going to be more likely the case, so going to try to get around some of the early laning dominance that JiaQi Love and Fengyue were going to have. Gnar, again, another, I think, signature champion after we got to see Swayon style on Flandre with this champ.
Yeah, it's interesting to select Gnar here on the third pick as top. I think it's maybe because they know that JDG has to take the Bard, because or else it's at threat of being banned away. So knowing that their pick is kind of face up, it gives you the opportunity to play with your bans here. Take a top lane blind pick, and then use your bans to make the blind pick even more OP. But I feel like with Gnar, you're not really getting that far with that strat. I don't know.
He did really well, and I think this kind of limits... I wonder if they're willing to kind of play around with giving Xiaoxu a really strong champion. His most played so far this year has been Renekton. It has been by far, I think, one of his best champions in his career in the last 2 years. If you're going to play Gnar into Renekton, there are some angles for him to look. Otherwise, I love the bans of getting rid of the Jax and the Rumble and the Mbessa. So either you're going to take a bad matchup and play something like Gwen, who can maybe be a bit more of a lane bully. You can go for Aurora potentially, or just try to play a bit of a longer game, and you're going to maybe look towards Aatrox or maybe Zed. We're getting Vayne top, baby. We're getting Vayne top versus the Gnar.
I like it. This is a signature to none other than Bradley No, but this is a Vayne top special. Really good pick into the Gnar. In theory, in the lane, you're able to really get a lot of done at level 1. And if anything, playing against Gnar at level 1 is a pretty good tech because he doesn't have much range yet. So you can really capitalize. And then you can build a lead that just becomes insurmountable, only at the cost of picking the most volatile possible thing. So that is a slight price to pay.
That is a Nefiri, so Nefiri can try to hunt for this. If we're going to have unstable lanes like the Vayne versus Gnar, let's go ahead and lock up a Twisted Fate. HongQ playing to sides. If you are ever on a lane and you're too far up, if your turret is gone, or if you're just over the halfway line, level 6s come on through, there's a Twisted Fate and a Pantheon suddenly on the opposite side of the map. There could be a lot of quick plays that JDG tried to pull off that maybe Top Esports are looking for, but lane dominance, that's what I'm looking for. Bot lane's going to be explosive, and especially this top lane matchup.
Yeah, this is a draft right here where just on paper, it looks fun to watch. I can already imagine some of the complete tomfoolery that this JDG G2 can do with the likes of this Quadra Global, technically kind of comp that they got going on here. You know, they got some semi-global with the Bard ult, but they can really do some crazy things, like where one guy might seem like he's completely alone on that side of the map, and they can just Avengers assemble out of nowhere with Bard ulti, Ezreal ulti, Pantheon, TF, teleport. This is a really exciting comp, It's going to be really, really important about what happens in this top lane matchup, though, which is why I like the Twisted Fate pick so much. It helps capitalize on that instability. You can really lean that into your favor with just one R press at level 6. Next thing you know, that's a 1k gold lead for your top laner, and that lead just never goes away. So
last time we saw Vayne top lane in the LPL would have been 2024 summer. It was going to be Vayne into Camille. The second most recent actually is Vayne into K'Sante, and that K'Sante was Xiaoxu himself when he was still on Rare Adam. We had them in the league. Getting into game number 2, JDG versus Top Esports.
JiaQi.
All right. Fans are excited, and hopefully the English audience is having fun too. A lot of fun lane matchups. We get to see Xiaoxu on Vayne, by the way, which I think is just so incredible. A guy who played a ton of bruisers coming into his career and finally gets to have his pick of a ranged top laner.
Yeah, and then when the draft has some stuff like this, everybody's constantly wondering when the next pressure is going to be applied top lane. Who's going to come top first? Is it going to work? What's the best look? What's the best angle? The best timing? The game becomes so centric around this top lane matchup here. So all of the eggs in the Xiaoxu basket. And if he's able to pick this Vayne and stay on the front foot, their comp is going to be completely broken. If they're able to throttle this Vayne and slow him down a bit as Top Esports, they're going to be in pretty good shape. So again, this entire draft is going to be up to Xiaoxu himself.
So looking at jungle paths, it looks like Pantheon is a little bit ahead. I'm just wondering if Huya... Okay, so Huya, it looks like we are having an issue for everybody at home. Hopefully the feed is going still on your end. If not, looks like we are going to come back to us. Sorry about that, folks. It turns out when we're trying to take a feed all the way from China to come over here, things end up exploding. But it seemed like JunJia was already ahead on his clear. He'd already started the Krugs on the bottom side of the map before Tian had actually even finished his second camp. So he could always make a trip towards bottom lane, but it seems to us anyway that if there's a full clear coming, JunJia's going to end up on the top side.
Yeah, and it's, again, really important about the top side in a game like this. So I really feel like I wouldn't be surprised to see him recall after those Krugs there, make it count. We are hearing some promising game sounds here, so we're probably
I'm hearing Vayne auto attacks. Yeah. I'm hearing Silver
Vayne
Bolt
is
procs.
tumbling. You know this Vayne is absolutely clicking on this Gnar as much as he possibly can.
There we go. Gameplay on your screen, and you barely missed anything. Already, Vampire's taken a recall, same thing with their AD carry, just to try to see if they can control the Raptor brush. I guess for Top Esports, they wouldn't have known where the enemy jungle is. Tian actually already finished the bottom side scuttle. We'll be looking to try to take this one. A level advantage here. Vayne can move first.
Well played.
There's the smite from JunJia. He'll take that, and he'll go 1-for-1.
I love having this crowd. They are truly
he's going
alive.
top.
You can hear them. Oh, this is scary. He has exhaust and a lot of minions, and maybe level 5.
There we go. Can he find one more? That's the flash away. He doesn't even get it. The Silver Bolt procs are not enough. First blood goes over to Tian.
HongQ wants to help make sure that he can fix this problem here, because the wave's not going to be great. This Gnar wants to keep things on his terms and conditions, but as a good mid laner here, you want to come up here, sacrifice a bit of your game to help Vayne's game.
Oh, wait, did the Fury Dogs end up showing? I was going to say, because he walked out of the brush, it actually meant that he gets that. Tian's going to try to play chicken with him. Okay, Zueon gets the wave. He'll TP back after this one, and Tian, I think, is just making bang here. And he emotes on him, too.
He's got a bit of a smirk as well. This is alive. I like this a lot. I really like the crowd. I like that we get to see JiaQi 11 Tian re-enter the league versus some young, LCP talent here as well. I mean, I know we've seen JunJia around. It's a long fight.
HongQ win
Gnar
this?
wins
I mean, he's
this.
going to get Mega Gnar. He has to land the W.
Wow.
Great condemn from Xiaoxu. And I think that boulder toss is the only thing that is keeping Sueyon from death. Jungle's on the opposite side of the map. You know this. You're going to be under with no assistance as soon as you get to Mega Gnar. And Xiaoxu, I don't think he'll get it on this wave, but if he can try to keep Sueyon entertained for the next 30 seconds with the next mini wave coming in, he'll hit level 6, he can go for final hour, and that could force Sueyon to take an early recall or a death.
Yep, you've got HongQ as level 6 as well here. But yeah, could just be a jungle gap. If he doesn't click away right now, I think he's just dead. But he might be able to click forward here. Oh, yeah, ulting to clear the wave. Low-key a method.
Okay, that's one. That's bone plating down as well.
Oh, yeah, he's just
Tien's gonna come here, but it's already too late. Tien's gonna look for it, or JunJia's going to look for it anyway. It was a hop and a skip and a death for Sueyon.
Yep, pretty nice for Xiaoxu here. He's able to have this Gnar death take place. But with JunJia getting the gold, this Gnar is still in a very playable lane state. And honestly, as long as you're against Vayne and your lane is playable, the problem is you don't like outscale her later, but there can be certain stages of the game where Vayne is just extremely vulnerable without a huge lead. So, wow. What did HongQ just do?
Do you approve of that from Creme? He's trying to cancel HongQ's recall, who, by the way, at 6.5 minutes is 40 CS on Twisted Fate. He tries to cancel it, but because HongQ queued up a gold card there, he has to force the flash from Creme so he doesn't just die from turret shots.
I mean, as a mid laner, I can totally relate to like how desperate you are to cancel recalls sometimes, because it can just be so game winning if you cancel the right recall at the right time. But yeah, there's no need to be too over aggressive as Creme there, so definitely slightly questionable.
I feel bad for Tien because he doesn't he's not going to be able to find a dive here. This is an important timer for Creme. He needs to be staying on top of HongQ so that he does not get a timer to look for an ultimate. But if Creme overextends in the mid wave, that could be a Pantheon ultimate coming and taking him down. No flash for this Annie makes her a really easy target. And similarly here for the bottom lane, if Tien shows on top side, you have to be worried as JiaQi and Fengyue.
Yeah, I would say Annie losing her flash isn't just her problem, but it's honestly the whole team's problem, because it's going to mean that Annie is going to have a slightly harder time zoning TF, getting prio versus TF, because she has to fear the Pantheon threat, and that just means that HongQ is going to be that much more unlocked to make use of his ult. Looks like they want to dive on this current wave. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy is just literally dead from 100 to 0 in the next 30 seconds. Unless they want to do something about it.
It seems like for now, JDG instead are going to go for grubs. So look, the point you're going for, I think, is completely, it makes sense, right? Like Twisted Fate was even starting to roam over. We saw Vampire walk through mid. Very likely that if Sueyon had done anything there to provoke JDG, they would have immediately collapsed. And maybe they go for it on the next wave. You can already see that HongQ's playing up on this wave in mid lane. Once they finish all 3 grubs, they can try to attack the Gnar and take that turret in its entirety. Small trade here from Creme will chunk out HongQ, but he still has heal. So wave's gone. They're looking top.
Yeah, I mean, Zoyan just does not get to play the game here. They're going to get a Drake as TES. So the more pressure you can absorb here, the better. But I'm definitely going to say that this is a JDG favorite trade. To deny Gnar this much is so much more than just one Drake. But this can matter a lot more later, of course.
It's gonna matter for just the top quests, right? Because right now, Sueyon's not getting any top experience because he's not behind his, or he's not in front of his most alive outer turret here. He's gonna try to walk forward. JunJia's also here, so Sueyon's sacrificing life just to get some experience, and it might just be the entire health bar here. Xiaoxu will flash, he'll use the exhaust, and they'll get the kill and another plate for this Vayne top.
Yeah, I mean, Sueyon just looks like he knows that his job here, just absorb the rage bait. The rest of his team is doing pretty well for themselves. So I like the way he sips that coffee. He doesn't fret. He doesn't frown. He just keeps playing. That's an admirable, trait to have, is to realize sometimes they're giving you cortisol, but that doesn't mean the game is lost whatsoever. Just because your game is difficult doesn't mean the game state overall is half bad. You've got the Ocean Drake. You've got your teammates all performing well. You just tank to death and life goes on.
The other part of that argument, though, is that if you don't get enough on the opposite side, then you're just a Gnar that's down 40 CS at 10 minutes, and then you're useless for the rest of the game, right? So we do need to see a lot more, I think. It is a decent gold lead, but I'm looking at the other ones, or the other lanes right now. Creme has a 30 CS lead, but the one time that HongQ looks to leave the lane, that's going to turn into something. Vampire's to flash out. He's going to use a portal. He'll escape for now, and that'll be top Esports just trying to muscle some more early vision on the bottom side of the map. Maybe they just go for another dive here. HongQ getting attacked by Tibbers. On the hunt available for top Esports, but they're going to just give this one up. Get a recall for the enemy mid.
Yeah, Creme just using his ulti pretty often off cooldown here just to mess with HongQ's tempo, to lower his conditions, make it harder for him to really make use of the ulti. And until HongQ gets those Merc Treads, there's pretty much nothing he can do about that. So this CS lead is just going to keep growing. Thankfully, as TF, you don't really miss out so much on the gold, but it just doesn't feel great that you're not, cashing in on as much. So it just kind of
Swan's got to be careful. We keep talking about this Vayne matchup. He's going to go Mega Gnar now, and I'm looking at the minimap. Bard, they have vision on the bot side jungle camps. I think there needs to be some kind of comm from TES saying Pantheon could head topside. Pantheon could look for a dive on this next wave, and with 3 grubs, that might just be the entire turret as well. Swan's going to go Mega. He's going to try to go for the mini wave, but he is losing way too much HP. Xiaoxu might just kill him before his jungle even gets there. The wave's gone now, and JDG are going to continue to play around this ranged top lane.
I feel like JunJia knew he was dead there, and he definitely overstays his welcome to clear as many minions as he could. If anything, JunJia didn't even have to show there, so he didn't. So technically top doesn't really know JunJia's position necessarily. This guy just dies here, by the way.
Yep.
With a hubris in Tian's
Wait
inventory.
a minute. He just JiaQi just ulted for that, and Tian just said, thank you. I'll take that instead. You're not going to... We're going to get Caitlyn ult on large cooldown. He'll get his hubris proc, but JiaQi feels a bit scammed there. We'll see if he can get any kind of plates to make it a little bit more even.
I mean, both these players clearly missing their primes in the LPL, so they just want to get whatever they can on the scoreboard to get as much dopamine as possible, because they must miss it, man. These guys were having really good times back in the day. You can tell they're still homies, but unfortunately you can't really toss your boy a freebie like that. First come, first serve,
We're going to cancel a recall. It's JiaQi, the loose flash. Ooh, even JunJia now arrives.
They're pressing
Mikhail's
all the
to
buttons.
A little bit of health. JiaQi not enough HP at this point. Even a Twisted Fate to try to join. This is turning into an all-out team fight. Everybody's
Avengers.
TPing. This went from 3 members versus 1 to suddenly the Avenger beams. Everybody is in top lane. All right, no more fighting. Everybody, take a break. We got 40 seconds before Dragon. That was a lot of hubbubaloo, and maybe, just maybe, JDG will get their first turret here.
And I mean, this is what I love about LPL, because just because JiaQi chose to recall in that bush instead of the other one, now everybody gets summoned into the top lane. Like, it's just all because of one recall spot. Like, it can't be that serious, but yes, it can. So, yeah, I mean, it turns out that's what this comp does.
I thought this was random. I thought this was random. It was a great vision cone. We were coming out of a replay itself. Well, the things we prescribed from draft came true, fools. An 80 carry step up over the halfway line of the lane, and suddenly there's 4 people fighting everyone.
Now that is an extremely effective team comp, because some of the best ultis they have in the Pantheon and the Ezreal, they have the channel time, right? Well, you can just tempered bait them, or you can just one-shot them with Annie.
Oh, my God. And Tian took the turret and flashed over. If that's not aggressive, I don't know what is. JunJia's trying to escape. He'll use his flash. This is a terrain visual bug. That wall does not exist there. JunJia will live with his life, but Top Esports, they get another dragon for themselves. JiaQi is pushing this wave, and maybe they'll claw back this gold lead right now that Xiaoxu's been able to attain.
Yeah, I mean, claw is definitely the right word here, because I think Tian is just completely able to carry this game. He's got 2 kills on his hubris right now, and this item is extremely effective. I don't know who's played solo queue recently, but hubris is just everywhere, and the item is completely taking over. So to see it in an LPL Pro game where he is able to get a good head start with it as well, I mean, Tian can absolutely take this game over.
I still take umbrage with something you said earlier, where you're saying Tian and JiaQi are past their prime. These brothers still got hands.
They sure do.
These guys, yeah, JiaQi last year was all-pro 80 carry. I think he was in top 2 at the very least for at least portions of the split, and then also won MVP of Split 3 last year. Like, still dangerous, still a dangerous man here. JDG now with 3 grubs and a Herald try to take this one. Looks like Top Esports are more than happy with continuing to go through the phases of get our lanes back in. For every wave that Shueyan gets to pick up, it is like Christmas to him. He's like, thank you, Vayne, you've allowed me to pick up this lane. I feel so much better.
I think I'm just thinking back to the days of IG, JiaQi Love, and FPX Clan. You know what I mean? Like, I think life was good. You know, like they were thriving, they were in their element, they were winning world championships, and now here they are, able to maybe do it again. I mean, I'm not trying to get way ahead of myself, but all I'm saying is it's good to see them both back, and you know, good to see them together as well. And I feel like this year, any team can really take home the Summoners Cup. It could be LNG for all we know. So I mean,
true, very true.
Yeah. So let's just watch this glory in action. Top, you know?
That would be a rags to riches story if anyone ever saw one.
Literally.
There is a little bit of a scuffle. It is JiaQi Love who yet again gets caught. Perfect use of the Mikhails there. Will free JiaQi Love from those chains and turn into a kill on the Vampire. Probably looking at a mid-tier 1 that's fun. Can we also maybe acknowledge the fact that despite this Vayne being up 60 CS and 2,000 gold, didn't get the first tower of the game? That is a really incredible feat being pulled off by the other side of Top Esports.
Yeah, I mean, I think this might just be a game where Shueyan just pretty much does quite literally nothing, but he just gets to have a win. Like that can happen in pro play, technically, and this could be the kind of game that shapes up to transpire that way. I mean, honestly, I still can't get over the fact we got to honor Fengyue for that recent play. It looked like JiaQi Love was completely caught out, but it just turns out one Mikhails can change absolutely everything. And yeah, bro, you're dead, man. Hex Tech plate is too broken. That's all.
Yeah, the experimental Hex play, as soon as he presses ultimate, he gets 1 million MS.
Yeah.
And is able to escape. If Creme had either his rocket belt or his flash, I think that's Xiaoxu just dying. So a lot of respect being paid, and he'll have that ultimate coming right back up in no time. A minute before we get to this next dragon. It's a gold lead here for JDG. How do we feel about their position in this game? I don't think we've really gotten HongQ to kind of interact with the rest of the map right now.
Okay, so things are pretty awkward for JDG, I would say, because they can't. Well, okay, so they could team fight with this Vayne. This Vayne could completely take over a fight just with how much stronger she is than Gnar. She's about to get the Essence Reaver probably on time before the Drake as well. Only problem is there's no Mikhails, there's no Merc Treads, there's no nothing. Creme has Flash. You just can't really group as this Vayne. You will just get one shot more than likely. So it's pretty tough to play out from here.
Oh, JDG tried to take a gamble. They tried to all be in top lane, maybe seeing if Shueyan or anybody from Top Esports would go there. They don't get punished. So it'll be a lot of vision. This will be HongQ being able to very safely farm out this wave. Maybe he gets one more plate with the Crystalline Overgrowth that's starting to grow on this tier 2. And he can very quickly join the mid fight right now. So see if they can find a timer. It's an unfortunate ultimate there from Vampire that will not get anybody from Top Esports. And Dragon's gonna spawn. This would be sole point if TES can get this.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't think you want to give this, but I don't think you want to contest it either. Like, you kind of just want to do whatever they're about to do right here.
Herald will maybe get JunJia over. This is Mega Gnar that's teleporting in, but he's running out of rage. Needs to be a quick fight here. Swayon looking, uses the ultimate, doesn't push them back, but that is the space that TES
Somebody
needed.
drive that thing.
Dragon Soul has been taken here. The Soul Point has been started. We're getting in to try to go for knockups. How many more can HongQ find? That's one onto Swayon. He'll escape for the time being. They're going to reorient themselves. Oh, he got out. Oh, no. He ran out of timer here. Flash out from the Twisted Fate. Nothing else to be found. JDG will lose the Dragon, lose the Herald, and at the very most here, Top Esports can feel more and more conviction with their potential of being able to take back this game number 2.
Yeah, they are in prime position right now.
We're
They've got a pretty good look here onto Xiaoxu. He has to somehow flash the stun.
There we go. Yeah. Creme gives him no options. Exhaust, flash, use. He goes invisible. They're going to try to outplay this scenario. Can Tien find the Vayne on the hunt? Boom. That is 1 kill. How much more can we grab? JiaQi Love is back in base. Looks like they're going to just trade 1-for-1 for the solo lanes. And JDG will feel at least okay with the fact that we got to see Xiaoxu put on some blue suede shoes.
More to come here on Fengyue.
Do they get more? No gold cards. Sway on.
There's more.
Gold. Oh my god, the Bard ultimate saves him, and Tiem's able to find Gala. I can't believe this, fools. Do not tell me we're going to see Top Esports find a way to muscle themselves back into position in this game. JiaQi Love has moved all the way from base to come for this play. This could be massive for Top Esports. They start off with a onto JunJia, and then HongQ follows. JiaQi Love is going to flash forward. Vampire throws up a 1 centimeter portal, and that gives a triple kill to JiaQi Love.
He throws up a 1 centimeter portal, and Top Esports throws up a few question mark pings to boot. That is just so beautiful. And this Naafiri champ is just going to completely take over the game from this spot. I mean, that inventory is just so effective. Super, super well played from Xiaoxu here. Getting the stealth to begin with, giving Creme a hard time to crowd control him at all, and then buying so much time and distance with the Vayne. Really thanks to the synergy calling JunJia there to ulti in. And the rest of this fight is extremely Top Esports favored once Naafiri is able to play it. I'm surprised they couldn't get onto Gnar, but yeah, he just one-shots Gala through everything. This Naafiri champ has so much sticking power, and you see it here now.
There's those hubris. I'm still laughing at the fact that this play all started when they were
Look
trying
at this
to go
W, by
Xiaoxu.
the way, from Tian. He didn't see it.
Here he goes. Here he goes. Oh,
come on.
Perfect. Pantheon can't even get the point clicks done at that point.
Beautiful, man.
It's so cool because they got that kill. We saw JiaQi Love flash forward, and the crowd erupted. They love to see this guy come back in, throw some hands with some of these 80 carries. And now Top Esports, they find themselves with Soul Point on the line with a minute and a half before that spawns. A 2,000 gold lead here. And honestly, fools, I'm just waiting for when this Vayne is going to get more. They'll find Creme. They're sending everybody. This guy's just dead. All right.
At what cost, though?
Can they get
more? You
more?
don't have to go in as top tier. You can literally tank this death and not care much. It's a question of if JDG forces an additional play here. Surely you cannot start the Baron as this team comp. I suppose they all deploy towards the bot river here and pray they can get enough setup. I don't know what else you can even do off the back of that pick.
Creme will still have flash before this next objective. They look for something. They're getting a lot of gold here for HongQ, who's been farming side lanes silently. And when I asked for him to step up in this game, it seems like that has really come at the cost of going for maybe 1 pick on side and then everything blowing up afterwards. HongQ is almost kind of taken like a big mechanical step back. He's usually a player that is really well known for his ability to kind of get in your face, play a lot of those lanes are going to solo kill, but his identity, I think, so far in the team in Split 2 has really been play to sides, play the map a little bit wider, and those mechanics will come in handy when we get to the big team fights, but sometimes there's some question marks left. And JDG now will need to do everything in their power to stop this soul.
If they can look onto Gnar, they can completely save this game. I don't know if they can, though, because they're going to run out of looks. Because now they control the space, but they can't hold it for much longer.
Get out. has so many pack mates at level 15 that he just gets to survive this. Teleport from Creme. This is the all-important fight. JDG, they can take this dragon, give themselves some breathing room in this game for potential
50-50
items on their AD carries. Creme will feign and engage with that rocket belt forward. With the draw of battle lines, Tien goes vulnerable, does not have time to get to the smite, but a two-man stun onto Xiaoxu. There is Sway on. They find JunJia. How much more are JDG going to be able to get from this fight? They already got the dragon. That was just a 6 point to start. Double kill for Tien will open up some more kills, but it might just be Baron here for going over to TES.
Yeah, the entire game can just end right there if Tien gets the last hit on the Drake. It's really tough though, and no need. I mean, the fights are just so favorable. This Nefiri champ is just fully taking them over. I mean, there's not really many easy ways to kill this Nefiri. I mean, the Ezreal gets countered by the pack mates, the TF does no damage and just gets Nefiri W'd, and the Pantheon's super weak, and the Vayne hasn't really had the chance to play the fights out. So I think Nefiri is just such a masterclass of a champion here, and Tien's showing why he still got it.
The only point-and-click crowd control that they have that's guaranteed is Pantheon, and we've seen time and time again that Tien just does not care. I think this was really smart from Vampire, use the ultimate to get that ability out from Tien so he can actually maybe not have as much influence going into that play.
Yeah, I do like that ulti.
Blew up.
Yeah, Zoran just doing what he can to offer something for his team. He is completely weak. He's
Whoa!
not able to do much. We got more.
Is this gonna be game? I'm saying that because they still have Baron. Xiaoxu is coming in with his teleport. He uses ultimate immediately. He gets into that fight. He gets out. Tien's going to move forward. How much more can they find? The Darkened Daggers will not get HongQ, but it will be an ace in the hole. That gets the mid laner of JDG. The Beijing arena erupts as Top Esports find more wins in a team fight.
It looked like Xiaoxu might have been able to clutch that right there, but no, not at all. He's just not nearly strong enough. And this could be very well the final push, but surely they click back. Surely.
Look at the damage that Gala is putting down. Every single one of those Mystic shots was starting to land on the JiaQi Love's chin. We'll push them off for now. But such a tense, but what happened there before that? We were in a replay this entire time. I imagine we're getting right back into the observer cams on that.
Yeah, I am really surprised that JDG puts themselves in this spot. I wonder what they saw here. I mean, there's a cleansers and McHale's, I would imagine. Getting the flash out of Fengyue, but yeah, at that point you can't disengage that. Thankfully, Xiaoxu does trade back his kill onto Fengyue. They only have to defend one more minute.
So risky. That was so risky there from Xiaoxu. I think I saw two worlds. One where Xiaoxu absolutely 1v9s a team fight and we get to see him collide on the Vayne. And another one where he tumbles forward and then gets taken down. Come back to live. Top Esports are sieging this top tier 2. I think this is such a good play. Get as much gold on the cross map while you have these last 40 seconds with this Baron.
Yeah, this is actually a really hard couple minion waves to clear here on this final push. This wave that's pushing in the top lane, not now, but the one right behind them. I think this top tower dies no matter what.
Did you see that headshot there from JiaQi Love? Infinity Edge? That lands, it did a third of Gala's HP. He did not get to really enjoy too much of his health bar there. They're clearing out more waves. We have the Baron or the Dragon spawning in a minute and a half again. Gala now to a third. Finally, it took a headshot and an ace in the hole to finalize that one. Top tier 3 taken up. Can Top Esports not only get the inhibitor, but then fall off afterwards?
JiaQi's tagged.
Fate to get 3 members here. They're putting all of the eggs into find JiaQi Love's basket, but Swayon is locking at the back line, and JunJia, alongside this Vayne, are doing damage, but it is not enough. Top Esports are fighting back. A triple kill here for Tian, and with 2 members of JDG left, he's going to look for the pentakill. Gala is going to fall. A quadra kill. One more, and it is Vampire. It'll be taken by Fengyue, and the Nexus will be gone. Top Esports 2-0 JDG.
Completely out of nowhere, Top Esports doesn't just take game 1, they take the whole series. And we were wondering, how's the replacement gonna do in the jungle position for Top Esports? How's the return of JiaQi Love gonna do for Top Esports? And it turns out pretty damn well.
10-0-3 on the Fury, man. This guy is cracked. I love it. All TN haters, you gotta silence yourself. If there was TN slander in the Twitch chat, you're getting moderated. You're going on a 5-minuter, okay? You're taking a timeout.
Gee. How on earth did they just do this? I mean, I really thought JDG, especially after last night, like one of easily best teams in the league, and to not only steal that game 1, but then to use that momentum into a 10-0 nuclear performance as Tian here, that's going to be my MVP for this game, unquestionably.
Oh, for
and,
sure.
I mean, JiaQi Love, he definitely did perform too, so it was kind of like a bit of like a Kobe Shaq situation here, or kind of like a LeBron, Dwayne Wade kind of thing. Like, they really were just able to be exactly who they always have been. These really prominent LPL players. They showed these youngins who they are.
A very clinical game from him, and I mean, we do have to call into question. This was a last pick Vayne into the Gnar, got a lot of resources, but then fell off a cliff. This almost reminds me of all of the discussions of when you have like these super talented top laners. I'm obviously kind of going back to like LCS when we had Tenacity come in, and then there was Sniper for a long time. A lot of people were like, okay, Surdy as well. When are we going to see the Vayne top? When are we going to see things like Aurelia top to come in and kind of run over the league? They're like, you get an advantage in lane, and then we get to team fights. We didn't see anything. That's exactly what happened here for this Vayne.
Yeah, the pick can just do so well early, but I kind of anticipated something like this could happen where if you've only got like a small to medium-sized lead where it's not completely breaking the game wide open, that if the other 4 members of your team are not doing well and are actually losing respectively, the champion just doesn't necessarily have that prominence to single-handedly carry in a draft like that. It's only really able
no front line.
Yeah,
like
you can neutralize the Gnar, but you can't have a suddenly magical team fight setup. You can't do both. That's what I liked about the Gnar pick with the bans is he basically forced the opponent into either having a pick that can win lane and be bad as an overall team selection, or you can have a champion who loses lane like a tank into the Gnar, but is actually an effective pick for the team. That might have been the better look for JDG, just to put Xiaoxu on a more stable character, neutralize the Gnar, because playing to shut down the Gnar at the cost of your team comp was not worth it.
Wow, what a crazy read, by the way. So I'm looking at the future schedule here. We're not going to have an updated graphic, really, to kind of showcase this, but Top Esports, their upcoming spread of games is going to be super dangerous. They'll have a bit of a break from today to their next match, but the 16th, the 19th, and the 25th, they're going to be playing against BLG, Invictus Gaming, and NIP. Those are currently the top 3 teams in the standings right now. And while expectations might be different for each one of those matchups, Top Esports, if they win, they've already started this win streak now, beating AL and JDG. The sky is the limit. Even if they go 2-2 in this record now in the next 3, or 2-1 or 1-2, I think this is really dangerous. Top Esports might be in the top 4 already.
Yeah, this was really not what I expected out of this series at all. I don't think I've fully registered what I think of this Top Esports roster just yet, but after watching them play just now, the only question that I even have is Joyan. If you imagine that's 369, I mean, I feel like this roster is just so extremely good and up there, but I definitely think that Joyan can be good enough. So I definitely think, as you say, this roster clearly can do some damage.
It's all kind of up in the air now. Sueon got focused, obviously, in this draft, but held it down and said, look, my Nexus didn't explode, yours did. I don't care that you're up 1,500 gold. We do not care. As you saw, we have a Creme interview rolling right now, so we're actually going to kick it to our standings. One last look before we start to wrap up the show. Gotta be exciting right now, man. Everything is being shook up here in the LPL. BLG still moving on up. We have Top Esports who are currently, this is actually not updated right now. This is going to be Top Esports who should be 3-1 right now. JDG as well. It looks like they're also not proper. Okay, so we're gonna pull this back. We're gonna pull this back real quick because I'm seeing NIP and JDG linked on the wrong sides.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the fact that Top Esports are now 3-1, kind of scary. Kind of scary news.
Yeah, I think 2-2 would be the much more expected result when you look at this team on paper before the split even starts, even from this series today about what's going to happen. But no, somehow it's not even a 2-1, it's a 2-0 for Top Esports, taking this series home quite in a shocking fashion too. This is, yeah, as you say, the sky's the limit. I'm not too high on this team, to be honest, like yet. As I said, I think they have really good pieces. They definitely have the potential with the JiaQi Love, you know, with the Tian. But again, just want to make sure they can build that synergy with Joyan, with everyone else. Because obviously BLG, AL, teams like this are going to be very hard to beat in the playoffs. So,
yeah. All right, so that is a 2-0 there. Again, going up to 3-1. JDG look incredible to start. But that is the end of our show here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody who joined us, whether you were a short-time lurker or you were here for the entire 4-0 day. Quick night here tonight. Fools, thank you again for pulling double duty here and coming in to save Mazel, who is currently not feeling well. So if you want to send him some well wishes, he'd really appreciate that. But for everyone here at LPL English, before we head off, we want to thank our elite coffee supporters, Aaron Soup and Mung. Their pledged financial contributions continue to help level up this broadcast and give back to the cast and crew that want to give you an LPL English product every single day. We'll be back here tomorrow again. We have new games to be played. OMG versus LGD, so some more Group Nirvana action, and Weibo versus BLG, which will be taking place tomorrow night. Might be another quick night there if everything goes to expectation. Fools, any last words before we sign off for the night?
I just think that I'm just so thankful that we all as people get to watch what is the league of the LPL, because I watch a lot of competitive league, you know, from tier 2 to tier 1 to all the regions, and there's just nothing that hits quite like the LPL, because I'm telling you, man, like, you recall in the wrong bush, you click on the wrong ward, and suddenly the Avengers just spawn out of the woodwork, and it's just so fun watching the scrappiness and the craziness of this league. So I just think it's really a treat to behold, and we should all be grateful that we get to watch it.
Here, I don't want you to feel too bad because the Winthrop lab decided that you don't get to have lights and you're going to get Mordekaiser ulted, so I'm going to join you. I'm also going to be in the Mordekaiser ult with you. Guys, we're going to sign off